Hey gang, what's up? Matthew Loop here. We are in Barcelona, Spain at La Sagrada Familia Cathedral, as you can see behind me. Here with my family. I was doing a speaking gig in Portugal. We decided to come over, take a flight real quick to Barcelona. Anyway, I wanted to give you two quick branding tips today. If you're committed to creating a long-term brand that is helping a large amount of people and generating vast sums of revenue and really that's really wanting to be sustainable, I should say, in the long term. I'm just going to give you some ideas and tips from what I've done and many other of my clients. The first thing you have to commit to is you have to commit to repetition. This is branding at its basic, meaning that if you're going to start today, you need to think 10 years down the road. How do you want people to perceive you now and also later in the future? But you have to have that consistent repetition, that consistent message. And I want you to think about McDonald's, even though they're just terrible food, obviously. But they've repeated the same message over and over and over through many different mediums and channels, online and offline. They've done so consistently for decades. Naturally, that shapes public perception and how we as a society think and feel about them. So you can learn from these companies. Hopefully you learn from more ethical companies than others, but realize that that is a component that you should be focused on, the short and more so the long term with that repetition. Now, the second thing you need to consider if you want to build a long-term sustainable brand is you have to have a tremendous amount of testimonials, because the number one reason why people don't buy from you is they don't believe it. So you never stop getting feedback and testimonials from your clients over and over, hundreds, thousands. The more you can get, the better. And the third thing you want to consider when you're trying to build a long-term sustainable brand is your design. How do you want the public to actually look at you and view your brand, essentially? Does your website, does your marketing pieces, do all those things look like they were designed by a second grader, or do they look like they were professionally designed? It's totally up to you how you want your brand to appear. More presidential, more surfer-like, more sportsman. I mean, there are many ways where you can create your own brand and target your ideal client avatar, but you have to think about that, and that's got to be a very primary focus. The last thing I'll leave you with is, I would say, who you align with. So if you want to build a long-term and sustainable brand, who you align with is very important. They have to be congruent to your attitudes, values, and beliefs, and you want them to obviously reflect well on your brand. Now, if you're going to try and go after a celebrity in the public market, sometimes that can be hit or miss because they live public lives, and one day they could have a bad day with PR splattered all over the news. So you want to be very careful who you select to align with your particular brand. So those are just some tips to consider. I wanted to share with you, I have had a few coaching clients in the last couple weeks that were talking to me about building a sustainable brand, and I was giving them advice and feedback, just what I've done and mentors that I've learned from. So if you like that stuff, if you found it valuable, thumb it up, click the like button. I apologize for the sound because there's all this hustle and bustle, but that's what makes Barcelona great. And I'm actually shooting this right now from a little kid's playground. You got to do what you can do at the time that's perfect. So anyway, hope you have a fantastic day. Let me know what steps you intend to take if you want to build a long-term and sustainable brand. Post any questions down below, and I'll talk to you soon, guys. Ciao.